Ryan Blaney finishes a race and finally wins, and in doing so, puts a whooping on the field. Cleetus McFarland is tied to Ram trucks in the Truck Series. All that and more coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, Ryan Blaney gets win number 14 in his career, and he does so in dominant fashion. In fact, it was a tale of two races. The first half of the race, it looked like nobody could touch the number 11, then bumped that number up 1 to 12, because the second half of the race, Ryan Blaney's car came alive, and it looked like nobody could touch the number 12. And that's very significant in a season for Ryan Blaney where he has had multiple engine failures. But when he has finished races, he has finished well. And even in those races where he's had trouble and engine failures, the car has been fast. The team has been working hard. The speed is there. His other two teammates also have wins on the season. So there you go. All of the Penske teams are now locked into the playoffs. And of course, we'll look at that playoff picture here in just a minute. But that 14th win also moves him up to number 57 on the all-times win list, tying him with Dick Hutcherson and current NASCAR driver William Byron. So William Byron and Ryan Blaney right there going for it now, tied on the wins list. That is a cool battle that we can keep track of for years to come. But speaking of the points, the 2023 champ, right? We know Joey Logano is the even year champion. Is Ryan Blaney now moving into that realm of being the odd year champion now that he's locked into the playoffs? That'll be something fun to watch. And the reason I say that is the last 2 years, Ryan Blaney has finished 2-1 in the points. And if you look at him since 2017, he has not finished outside of the top 10 in points. In fact, if you go far enough back, he has only finished outside of the top 10 one time in that particular stretch or run, and that was the year that he missed the playoffs, which of course was 2016. So since 2017, Ryan Blaney consistently been in your top 10 in points, and like I said, the last 2 years been a force to reckon with, and with the championship finale once again being in Phoenix, if he can make that Final Four, like I said, does he become Penske's odd year man, where Joey Logano is the even year man? I don't believe in superstition, but you don't have to, because it's fact. Joey Logano wins in even years, and if Ryan Blaney can get another one in an odd year, he's the odd year man. So before we get to the top 10, I wanted to just jump in here and get this out of the way because I didn't really know where to slide it in anywhere else before we get to that top 10. But Cletus McFarland, according to Adam Stern has found some documents from Stellanis, which owns Dodge and Ram. Ram, the truck brand, formerly part of Dodge. They split them up. Ram, now it's a separate entity, has been linked with the Ram brand, who of course has been rumored to be coming back to the Truck Series. And they want to get Cletus McFarland there to sort of represent Ram brands in the Truck Series. So Cletus, in his attempt to make a Daytona 500, I think by 2027, I think is his timeline, now has apparently at least some interest from Ram. How far along those talks have come or gone, we don't know, but it is interesting that Ram sees him as a valuable asset, and I think it is a smart move if they're able to get him. Also a smart move, period, that they're even interested in him. It shows that they, at least their marketing side of things, understands the pulse of what's going on in motorsports. He is getting more views than just about any other motorsports programming right now. So to attach the Ram brand with Cletus McFarland seems like a no-brainer, and if they get it done, I think it's going to be a big win. But the fact that they're even smart enough to show that interest to get it done is a win for the marketing team, at least knowing what they're doing. All right, now on to the top 10. We talked about the winner. Ryan Blaney dominated the second half of that race. Carson Hocevar with a nice run here, finishing in second, but it wasn't without controversy. And oh, how the NASCAR media loves to drum up controversy. This time it was between Carson Hocevar and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Carson Hocevar was there. You could hear the spotter for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. say low. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went underneath anyway. Contact was made. Carson Hocevar hit the bumper of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who you can basically argue, or one way or the other, just depends on who you pull for, chopped him off or blocked him late. However you want to perceive it. Either way, there was contact made. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Was not happy after the incident, and Jeff Gluck went to Twitter and said that Carson Hocevar is the new Ross Chastain. He's getting grouped in that category of Ross Chastain. Anytime anything happens, it is Carson Hocevar's fault. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. responded to that particular tweet from Jeff Gluck on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and took offense to it. So he basically said he didn't hit me in the right rear quarter panel, he hit me in the bumper. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who has never wrecked anybody in his entire life, clearly upset with Carson Hocevar here. So pretty funny situation, and it'll be interesting to track how it goes going forward. Will the NASCAR media turn Carson Hocevar into the Ross Chastain story? Because of course when they did that with Ross Chastain, they got tons of ratings and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep spinning it up like this to try to get those ratings and get that social media interaction and stuff going from here. Third place man, of course, Denny Hamlin, the guy who sort of dominated the first half of this race, or at least the first two stages, like I should say. And then Joey Logano here with a nice fourth place finish. William Byron also had a very good run. And you got in sixth place here, a guy that had an interesting day, Bubba Wallace. At one point in this race, I think was 1 or 2 laps down. The 2311 team kept the 23 car above water there, was able to get those laps back and finishes in sixth place. So salvages, not only salvages, but has a great day after some early trouble. Eric Jones ran good all day, had lots of speed. At times in this race, he was third or fourth, so good run, well needed for the 43 car. And Legacy Motor Club continues their improvement from last season. Another guy, as good as Denny Hamlin's first half of this race was, Kyle Larson's was equally bad. It was looking like that bad luck from Charlotte was going to carry over into this race at points in this race. I think he pitted 3 or 4 extra times in the first half of this race, or at least the first 2 stages, I should say. But he was able to correct the ship and get it under control, and I still can't believe that he finished where he finished here. But good perseverance also from the 5 team, especially after the heavy criticism from last week. Tyler Reddick, a man who was expected to win here, was also able to overcome some adversity, sorry about that, from the flat tire there, was able to make his way back up to 9th place. And Christopher Bell, who a lot of people thought were done in this race when he hit the wall and was wrecked, he ends up finishing in 10th. So everybody from 6 through 10, with the exception of Eric Jones, dealt with some type of controversy and was still able to fight back and get a good top 10. So interesting 6 through 10 there. 11 through 15, last week's winner, Ross Chastain. Kyle Busch, who needed this points run, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Zane Smith with the 13th place finish. I think finished second here last year, if I'm not mistaken. Then Chris Buescher with a nice 14th, and Chase Elliott continuing to just consistently get good finishes here with a 15th. For every good race, however, there must be a bad race, and here, of course, are the bad racers, starting with last place, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And right above him, Noah Gragson, 2 guys who needed good points days, didn't get them. Corey Heim just didn't have the day he wanted, got put in the wall at some point in the ugliest car I've ever seen in my life. Eric Church, please fix that paint scheme if you ever run it again. Alex Bowman, who also needed a good points run, was having a good points day, ends up finishing in 36th here as well. And you see Josh Berry having a bad points day, and also Ty Gibbs up there in 31st, another bad points day for him. So with the odd finishes at Nashville, let's take a look at where the point standings are right now for the regular season. William Byron continues to lead the regular season points at 547 to Kyle Larson's 499. Christopher Bell now in 3rd place. Denny Hamlin 4th. Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano round out your top 8. 9 through 16 is going to be Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Busch. Then you've got Ryan Preece there, who is in 16th. With Carson Hocevar, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., AJ Allmendinger, and Josh Berry below him. Josh Berry being below him is the interesting part there, because that means as it stands right now, Kyle Busch would be the last driver in, Ryan Preece would be the first driver out. So let's take a look at, if the playoffs started today, what those standings would look like. And here you see it right there at the top. Kyle Larson, if the playoffs started today, would be your playoffs points leader. C. Bell would be second, and Hamlin, those would be your top 3. Then you got William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, all locked in. Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Busch all vying to stay in the top 16, but all of those would be the 16 in on points right now. Ryan Preece, Carson Hocevar, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and AJ Allmendinger. Of course, guys that had some bad days there, except for Hocevar. Hocevar bumped himself up, but Ryan Preece having that bad day, a bad finish there, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. having basically a last place finish, like missing a race now, that really hurts his chances as well. Plenty of season left to go, but I did think it was interesting that that is where the points are at right now. So the cut line is going to continue to be interesting. If we get some more winners, it's going to get even tighter. So Kyle Busch might not be safe, might need to bump himself up in points further or get himself a win. But either way, that's where it stands. Let's take a look at the manufacturer's points as well. Where it tightens up once again, Chevrolet at 512, 493 for Toyota, and Ford with the win. It gets up to 477, so a nice little battle there for the Manufacturers' Championship as well. And that's going to about do it for me on this one. Thanks for joining in and making it this far if you did. And have a good rest of your Monday. Thanks for your time. Peace.